All right, so terrestrial biomes. Basically, when you look at ecosystems as like little communities of plants and animals interacting, well, when there's similar environmental conditions throughout the world that produce specific types of plants and specific types of animals, this is called a biome. And terrestrial means land. This can be a result of natural selection. Ecosystems will develop with many similarities in separate areas of the world. If you look right here at tropical rainforest in the orange, you'll see that there's different areas in the world that have tropical rainforest, and these will have similar characteristics of soil, plants, and animals. Here's just a map of biomes and a little more explanation on the types of evolution that can result or be affected and lead to these biomes. Terrestrial biomes are mainly determined by climate, and climate is another word for long-term weather. When you look at weather or you check the Weather Channel, you're going to look at temperature and precipitation, and climate is temperature and precipitation over a long period of time. So the first biome I'm going to talk about is a desert. This is a large, dry, barren region. Barren means with little growth. It is a large, vast area of land, and dry because it has little precipitation. There's really two types of deserts, hot and cold, but they can be divided into four names. Tropical would be the hot and dry desert, or the one you mainly reference. Temperate is semi-arid, so it's kind of in the middle, and coastal is the more cooler desert. Then you have cold deserts, which basically are referencing tundras. Deserts generally, it doesn't matter what type, are hot during the day and colder at night. They are dry because they receive less than 25 centimeters of rainfall per year. They have very, very little precipitation, and when it does rain, a lot of the precipitation will evaporate. So it basically exceeds, the evaporation rate exceeds the rainfall rate. So water will never even hit the ground. It'll go right back up. The soil in a desert is actually rich with nutrients. It's like a farm. It's just a farm without water. They've actually considered bringing in irrigation systems to the desert in order to be able to use it to grow crops. There's very little vegetation, obviously, due to the lack of precipitation. The two main groups of plants are succulent plants and mesquite plants. Succulent plants are plants that can store water, and an example is a cactus. And mesquite plants are plants that send their roots deep down to tap into the water systems underground. Animals in the desert are generally small, and their main adaptation is to try to conserve water because there's little water in the desert. The other major adaptation is that they are nocturnal. Almost all animals in the desert only come out at night. There are some other adaptations like burrowing. A lot of the animals in the desert will burrow to remain cool, and they have long ears also to help them remain cool. Some animals have even been known to become dormant during extreme temperatures. One of the major problems that are directly related to a desert biome is off-road vehicles. Because this biome is fragile, and by fragile I mean since there's very little water and the temperatures are so high, recovery rates of these extreme temperature or extreme lack of rainfall biomes are slow. So if you damage the vegetation in a biome, the recovery is extremely slow.